All right, here we are. This is definitely, I want to say first, but it ain't technically the first live show I've done, but it is the first live show I have done in quite a while. So, yeah, welcome everyone who may be viewing today's show. This is just going to be a general Spurs chat. You know, there's not really too much of a topic. It can kind of go in whichever direction we wish it to go. But yeah, that's how mostly I think most of my streams going forward will be. So yeah, I'm here with our good friend Tottenham Therapy, who is a quality Tottenham streamer. You know, he has a very unique stream, lots of banter, lots of interesting points about not just Spurs but football in general. And I think he's a very balanced gentleman who will always let you have your say on his show. And I think it's a very nice, unique show that he's running. So big up to you, Anthony.
What are you after?
What am I after? That's a good question. I'm after your opinion on Spurs transfer window so far. What do you make of the signings we have made? What do you make of the rumours of the players we're going to sign in the future? What's your opinion on all of that?
So Robertson, I don't know what everyone's fuss is about when they said that it's a terrible signing. I've heard some big YouTubers say it, and I've heard some not so big YouTubers say it. But I've also heard some. It's like 50-50 in it with a lot of Spurs people. I think he's a top player, experience, leadership, brings a lot of qualities to us. And look, we could have done with him last season with what we're going through. But I still think he just brings a lot to the team. Someone we don't really have. We need a winning mentality. We need someone that's been and done it. And Robertson, I think, is a fantastic. I still think he's got it in. And Udodi, I'm not a massive fan of Udodi. And I think Udodi, if we keep Udodi, I think it's someone he can learn off, or have it, or get rid of Udodi and get some, or have Sousa. I mean, if we keep Sousa, it could be someone he can learn off. But he's, top quality. Senesi, another one, brilliant player. I don't care if he's a free transfer. I hear fans say from Bournemouth, why would he leave Bournemouth that it's in Europe to join Spurs? He finished 17th 2 years in a row. But take the 17th out of the equation. Spurs is still a big club, and we're still bigger than Bournemouth. So Bournemouth in Europe, and fair play to them, have had a great season. But the chances are they're not going to do it again. They're not going to. They're not with their squad size. They're not going to be able to keep up like European football and Premier League every year. For the whole season, they're going to have drop off. At one point, they're going to have to put their heads in one basket wherever they go for. Senesi, it's Spurs are. There is a pecking order in football, but Spurs are bigger than Bournemouth. There's certain players, we can attract over certain clubs, and. So I definitely think Senesi obviously chose Spurs because we are a bigger club. And then there's Van Hecke.
Yeah.
There was the De Zerbi factor with Van Hecke. But then again, I have Brighton fans say, why would he leave Brighton? And, they're in Europe and all this stuff. Well, like I said before, Spurs are a bigger club than Brighton. And there's a pecking order there. So there's certain level. We probably can't compete with the Cities, the Arsenals, the Uniteds, and all that stuff, and Liverpool, but we don't. For certain clubs, I think we compete with the Newcastles. I'm still convinced we can compete with the Villas, and we can definitely compete with the Bournemouths, the Brightons, the Brentfords of the world. If we're after their players, the chances are they'll come to us. But so I think they're fantastic signings. And the Tonali thing, I'm hearing Arsenal after him, but I don't know whether that's just a ploy for Spurs to put the money down on the table and get him. Do Arsenal really need him? They've got stats in midfield, and I've heard that Arsenal, if they are going to sign him, they need to sell players before they sign him. They're already after Morgan Rodgers as well. I don't think this one's over. I don't think just because Arsenal are in for him, he won't come to us. I've just heard now. I think Tom put it that we've offered £275,000 a week wages. I'm still think he'll come to Spurs. Maybe I'm deluded in that, but Arsenal need to sell players before they can buy him, and they're hoping to get more than Rodgers. I think that's their priority. I don't think their priority is a Tonali. I think someone's just thrown a link out. Maybe Newcastle have or someone else has to try and stir it up and try and maybe get us to pay the money for him.
Mm.
But if Arsenal are serious about him, chances are he'll probably go to Arsenal. But what's the point of we've got to at least try, haven't we?
Exactly. If you don't try, you don't get. So we do need to just put that money on the table and say, look, Tonali, we've matched what your club want. We are willing to give you these wages. Take it or leave it, basically. And if Arsenal come in for him and he'd rather go there, then that's fine. At least we have tried.
Yeah, but I'm a bit like
before we,
I don't want any player.
Carry on.
Sorry, mate. I don't want any player that don't want to play for Spurs. So if he has got his heart set on Arsenal, which I don't think he's like that at all. If he's got his heart set on Arsenal, then he can do one and go to Arsenal. Because I don't want a player that's just going to settle for Spurs. But I don't think the Arsenal links are as genuine as we're hearing. I think it's just like Tom's put in the comments. The agents are trying to drum his price up, and they probably are. All Spurs need to do is pay the money. We'll agree terms with him, pay the money, and they think he'll come to us.
Yeah, it's quite a good comment, because that's quite often what the agents do try to do, and I mean it's no wonder why, because they're getting a piece of the pie. But I think when it comes to the transfer window, we can't be making the same mistake as we did last summer with the Eze, the Morgan Gibbs White, putting all our eggs in only one basket at a time, rather than actually seeing what's out there whilst negotiations are also going on, just to have a contingency plan. But yeah, let me go through some of these comments. Big up to Guy. My guy as I call him, getting a chilled stream. Let's go. That's the idea, mate. I'm hoping all my streams are sort of on the chill level. We all like to have a chat, have a little bit of banter, and most importantly, keep things chill. We can talk about things seriously, we can talk about things and have a laugh, but at the end of the day, it's all about trying to just have a nice conversation. So yeah, big up to you, Guy. We got Tom Kingham in the house. Big up, lad. Thank you for joining this stream, a rare deathly stream. I'm usually just jumping on this, fellas.
Can I just ask one thing quickly?
Sure.
Why is your screen so blurry?
I have a background blur on. It's allowed me to do it here. Yeah. I can take it off, actually, I think.
No, you don't have to. It's fine. I'm just saying. Probably to hide all your dolls in the background, yeah? Your blow up dolls.
Yeah. That's it, mate. That's it, mate. I can't have any birds from Istanbul or Transnistria seeing what I'm up to. We're gonna open the next one. It's another comment from Guy accusing me of glazing this man right here. How could I not? Yeah,
I would say one thing to Guy, actually. I know we've had a bit of disagreements lately over certain things on stream and off stream, but big up for writing on my wall earlier. You didn't have to. You wrote something really nice saying, basically, don't worry about it and stuff. And I put like this thing about me being embarrassed about yesterday, and I think that's like it happened. And he put something on my wall and he said, don't worry about it, man. Basically, just keep going in a way and sort of thing. Big up to you, Guy. You didn't have to do that. Much appreciated. Thank you very much.
Yeah, big up. Yeah, big up to Guy. We all have our disagreements, but just because we disagree does not also mean that we can be friends and get along. So yeah, that's what I'm hoping to cultivate here on Definitely Spurs TV. Despite the rather egregious name, we're all just going to hopefully have a bit of a chill chat. We'll disagree at times, and absolutely fine. We're not meant to agree on 100% everything. That's how things are. Another comment from Guy. He says that Spurs are bigger than Bournemouth, a coastal town filled with grease tea and soggy chips. Well, yeah, I can't say that I'm a fan of either of those things. If it were up to you, Anthony, what would you rather have? Some grease tea or a portion of soggy chips? Which would be better for you?
Grease tea or soggy chips?
Yeah, what would you rather have?
If I had to choose, I'd probably choose soggy chips, but they both sound rank.
They both sound rank. We're always going to go for some chippies for Englishmen, for God's sake. Let's open the next comment.
Yeah. Soddy chips could be loads of vinegar on your chips, doesn't it?
That's true, and that's never a bad thing. That's never, ever a bad thing. Exactly. Yeah. So Tom Kingham has said with regards to Tonali that he thinks he'll come. I can understand why you think that, mate. It looks like we might be trying to get business done. Yeah, no, I was saying yesterday. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I was saying yesterday. I won't read any of the news. I haven't read any of the news. I'll just pay attention to the Spurs website. That's the way I'm doing things personally this transfer window, because I don't want to get wrapped up in all these stories again. But if you sort of just have a gut feeling, you sort of think that we're moving differently to what you've seen before, and that you think Tonali has reason to join Spurs, which technically he does. I mean, objectively, we have that big club pull, as seen with the fact that we're able to attract two clubs who are playing in Europe. The players from them, we're able to attract them, despite our back-to-back 17th place finishes. I think that kind of solidifies a bit of an argument that we do have a bit of that big club pull to us. So I can see why Tom Kingham might be thinking that the Tonali deal is going to happen. I'm not saying anything just yet.
You said earlier that sorry to dig you out, Tom. You said earlier that you thought if Arsenal for him, he's done Arsenal. So can you clarify that, Mr. Kingham?
That'd be good. He's probably clarified it here. If we offer 100 mil and 275k a week, I'm not sure there's anything else we can do. Yeah, 100%. Big up to you, Anthony. Yeah, smash the likes and subscribe. I'd appreciate if people could do that. The signing, I feel, means more than just signing Tonali. It symbolises how ambitious we are. Quite right, mate. I think if we do get this deal over the line, maybe, I'm not going to say that ENIC have changed, but it may get me to say that ENIC are moving in the right direction. 100%. Big up to Psycho Teacher. Hope you're doing well, mate. Haven't spoken to you in a long while, but thanks for popping by. Thanks for tuning in. And yeah, big up to you, mate. Good to see you here. Big up to John Stokes.
I think that Psycho Teacher's a new one. I've not seen him on any streams before.
I think I was on. It was a year ago now, but it was before the Bodo Glimt Europa semi-final. I was on a panel with him. I think I was on Savage show or something. But yeah, good guy. Yeah.
You was on Savage show.
Yeah, a year ago or so.
How did you get on that?
Oh, it was the fan calling show, mate.
Oh, he don't do it anymore, does he?
No, he don't. Big up to Drula. Lovely to see you here, pal. She has said, big up, definitely. Anthony in chat just popped in to smash a like. Good luck with your first stream. I'll watch it back later. Big up to you. Big up to you, mate.
No, I would say that. I would say definitely, mate.
What's that?
See if we can get an intro tune before the stream as well. That's what I'd say.
Yeah.
Speak to Nigel about that. He'll sort it. I know an app where you can choose a song and he'll edit it for you. A bit up to Nigel do that.
Yeah. I might get that in order. I'll see how my first few streams go before I jump into anything like that. Mm-hmm. We disagree, but we're all here for you, Tottenham Therapy. 100%. 100%. We don't ignore. We have these extra refreshers for us. 100%, mate. We go to Tom Kingham. Anthony, I think if both offers money and time to play, we are on the table, then you'd have time to play.
Yeah.
Were we on the table, then you'd have to choose Arsenal.
What I'll say about this is I've heard Arsenal need to sell players. They need to get players out the door. And also, I've heard they're after Morgan Rodgers. Are they going to be after Morgan Rodgers as well as Tonali? And are they more desperate for Rodgers than they are Tonali? If they're dithering and dabbering with getting players out the door and maybe going after Rodgers, if we're quick and we swoop in, we'll get him.
Yeah. It's all about the timing with these things, because if you think about it, the Eze deal, Arsenal only picked up the phone when Kai Havertz got injured, so we can sit here and say that Arsenal were just waiting to call Eze to make the move and stuff like that. But let's just say for a minute, if we had sort of just got that deal done, say 2 weeks earlier, and Kai Havertz wasn't injured, I think there's a good chance that Arsenal just let it go, because the report at the time was basically that they were suddenly looking for a guy because of that Havertz injury. So it is a lot of the time about the timing of these things. You are right. So we need to just get the money down on the table, wages and transfer fee paid, and then let it be up to the player as soon as possible. The sooner the better. And I think also, in addition to what you've just said there with regard to the transfer window for Arsenal, that Arsenal are looking to offload players before they start bringing players in. I'm wondering, do you think the fact that the World Cup is currently on, do you think that that may hinder Arsenal from being able to offload players? And if so, do you think that that has more of an implication that Tonali is likely to join Spurs?
Can you repeat that? Just say again, mate.
That's all right. Do you think that the World Cup is going to stop Arsenal from being able to offload the players necessary for them to offload before they can start bringing players in? Do you think the World Cup might get in the way of Arsenal doing business?
Yeah, probably. Depends. I mean, Martinelli is at the World Cup, and I've heard that they want to get rid of him. And who else? Is Trossard at the World Cup? Who's he play for? He's at Belgium, isn't he?
He's Norwegian, isn't he?
He's Belgium, I think. Trossard.
Belgium, yeah, that's right. That's right.
Odegaard's Norwegian.
That's it. That's it.
So, yeah, I think because I've heard Odegaard. I've heard they want Odegaard to go, and if that's the case, then they might have to wait till the World Cup. But then again, we signed Van Hecke while he was in Netherlands at the World Cup. So I don't think I think the World Cup's an excuse. Just think the World Cup doesn't finish until the World Cup finals, the 18th of July. I'm not saying these teams are going to get there, but they finish in July, like maybe mid-July or whatever, just before probably about 10th of July or whatever. So a lot of them might finish, depends how far they go. Would they wait till then? They might just. I don't know because we got Van Hekken quite while he was at the World Cup. I think the World Cup might just be an excuse. If they want to get rid of the player, they'll probably do it while he's at the World Cup.
Yeah. And there's a good shout. I was just wondering because we've had these moments of
the agent is either at the World Cup with the player or he'll fly over there. If something happens, he'll fly over there. Probably have access to the camp where the player is and speak to him about it because with Van Hecke, the Spurs medical team had access to the Netherlands camp, didn't they? So he could do his medical and.
Oh gosh! My condolences to the Netherlands national team. They'll all be injured by the morning.
Yeah, I know. But did you see Van Hecke's black eye?
Yeah. What's that all about? He's been given the Spurs medical team treatment.
We're not happened, isn't it?
Yeah.
Van der Ens probably said to him, "Do you want to join Spurs?" And he's like, "Nah, I don't want to." And so he's pinned him up against the wall, gave him a couple of jabs, and said, "You will join Spurs." And he's like, "Okay."
It's either that, or the Spurs medical team have gone and done their usual inside the training camp. Their usual treatment of giving the players a few knocks. Yeah. Guy from the lane has said Gremio for the win. I actually taught a guy who supported Gremio, a Brazilian gentleman. I'm pretty sure they have that. What was his name? Was it Carlos Vinicius? That player, he played for us for like half a season or something.
He was at Fulham as well, wasn't he?
He was at Fulham as well. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he plays for Gremio now. So yeah, there's a little bit of a Spurs linkage, tiny little one. Definitely is a musician. Yeah, you're not wrong there. Usually you see me in the comments on my musician account, so that's a good shout. Yeah, that's about it for the comments so far. So yeah, Tonali, does it concern you at all that we've been in talks to get him for how many days has it been?
Who, sorry?
Tonali.
It's probably since was it Friday of last week? No, not
was
Friday.
Was it last Friday?
It was the Friday before last, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So it's been longer than a week now, and
10 days.
Previous transfer windows have basically lead me to believe now that that's a little bit of a red flag. Because in the past, whenever it's been, oh, Spurs are interested in this guy, Spurs are interested in that guy, and it sort of goes on for 10 days or so,
Can I
and
just
you
say
hear
one
the
thing as
different
well?
murmurs. Yeah, go for
Hey,
it.
mate, I'm going to Guy's comment here, but P.S. Stop all this till you talk about transfers. Let's get on to the most important topic. Thoughts on the new kit. I think they're wank and I'm passing on them. You know what, can I just say this comment quickly? I like the away kit, Guy. I actually do like the away kit. Is it the was it the dart? It's dark with a bit of like stripes going down or something. I do like that one.
I'll, I'll be real. I haven't. I think I did see a post, but I can't memorize what the kits even look like. To be honest, I'll see them when the players are wearing them on the pitch next season. It'll it's a kit is. Okay, that's all right. That's all right. We'll see. We'll see what the general consensus is among the Spurs fanship over these kits. And one more comment from Psycho Teacher. Carlos Vinicius is a Gremio, showing how shit he is. Well, I can't comment on that because I don't watch much of Gremio, but I'll take your word for it, Psycho Teacher. I know that you have a good eye for the game, so I'll take your word for it. Anyway, I was just saying, I think the fact that it's been 10 days or so already, and it's not really doesn't seem to be moving anywhere. For me, it's just a bit of a point of concern because I have no trust in ENIC. I really don't. And this is one deal which you could say it's almost a sliding doors moment, because if they do want to show how serious they are, getting him in, a Prem proven midfielder, to try and address a big pain point that we have, which is our midfield, I think that would be quite a big move from ENIC to spend the money to get him in, and not just to get him in, but to get him in early as well. But the fact that it's been 10 days of talks and still we don't seem any closer to actually having a deal, it's a bit of a red flag for me. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, but to be honest, mate, I think this is good for us because it's not usually. Look, I think we've got 3 players in. Usually at this stage of the window, we have no players in, and we drag it out. We have one player here, then we wait a couple of weeks, have another player, and so on. And usually we end up messing about the bid signings, even though they're not massive signings. They're like bid for us on the last day of the window for penny pinching or whatever. As long as this don't drag on to the end of the window, but to have 3 signings in, and after Tonali, we bid strong links to Tonali, strong links to Fernandez, Savino, whether their deals are not done yet, they're still strong links. And this is not like us at all to be operating like this at all. So, in a way, you can look at it thinking, well, they're not done yet. Maybe they are negotiating whatever the price, but they're a lot closer than they've probably been in other transfer windows because we always wait to the last minute.
100%, mate. Yeah, I think
we forget because we signed Robertson and Senesi as soon as the season had finished. I think we forget that transfer window's only been open 2 weeks.
Yeah, you're quite right about that. Before I bring one more guest on, I'm just gonna quickly reply to what you said there.
Who's in the chat? Who's in the background now?
Yeah. Just give me a second. I'll do a grand reveal. I just wanted to say that I think you're right about one thing. If all the talk about the deal being very close is true, I think that is a positive sign, because usually with these, we're just monitoring, we're observing, we're watching. We're outside the other side of the fence, looking in with some binoculars, sort of seeing what shorts he's wearing.
I don't
want any of that. I want us to just get the deal done. Yeah.
I don't want to hear any. I don't want to hear any words of Spurs are monitoring a player.
Exactly.
When those words happen, chances are we're not going to get that player. We're monitoring. We're only monitoring. We're just showing a bit. We're showing a bit of something. Yeah. Whether we get the players or not, we are showing a bit of an intent. And I think, think how ENIC, how close we were to relegation. I know people don't trust ENIC, and I don't really trust them in a way, but I do believe that they were scared to go down. And I think we've got De Zerbi, who's a top manager,
Exactly. Sorry, Anthony, I don't want to cut you off, mate, but I really want to let the guest on. I'll let the guest on real quick, and then you can carry on. But yeah, this is a really insightful guest. He runs a channel with more subscribers than this channel. I think he has around 100, 150 or so, give or take. He likes to bring sort of the international Spurs support base sort of together. So I'm going to add Daniel, Spurs Global, to the stage. Good evening, mate. How are you?
Hi, mates. Hi, good evening. Thank you for inviting me. Sorry for that I'm late on, but
no worries.
As usual. Yeah, I'm doing okay. And you guys? Where's Anthony? I don't see Anthony.
I'm here, but I've got no top on tonight. And last night I gave a striptease on my show at the end of last night. If you've missed it, so I wasn't feeling well. End up stripping off my clothes, like my top part. But I pressed the stage by mistake. I pressed the camera by mistake, and people saw it, and they had a bit of a strip for me, not by mistake, like by mistake. So, and I'm hot tonight, so that's why I'm not on camera, because I've got no top on.
What's the temperature in London now?
So,
what is the temperature in London now?
Well, we've had a bit of rain, so it's a bit cooler, but it's still a bit warm. Still warm.
Yeah, we have 35.
I'm not actually in London. I live in a place about 45 minutes away from London.
But it is the same geographical place. Not so far.
I think London might be warmer than where I am, because it's all buildings, isn't it? So it's all keeps everything. It keeps us, I think buildings are close together, so it's going to be warmer in London.
Yeah,
it's very warm, guys. Very warm. But it's good to have you on, Daniel. We're just discussing the Tonali stuff. So what do you make of the deal? Are you concerned about the fact that we haven't had a here we go yet, or do you think it's just sort of the calm before the storm? Do you think they're all just doing it in the back room, and here you go is going to come shortly? What are you making of it all?
First, I would like to say I'm not so huge fan of Tonali. Okay, he's a top player. He could improve us, but I don't want him on our squad just because this is my opinion. I would like to have probably Wharton, probably Alex Scott, probably these two of this type of players as Tonali is. But there are two options of this story. Firstly, they would like to offer and to get a little bit discount of him, what a huge mistake is, or another club has really joined the race, like Manchester City or Arsenal. And if it's really true, now we have problems. Now we have a SA 2.0. And I saw today one journalist, I think it was, I have forgotten his name. He told that Arsenal has really joined this race.
I don't believe it, mate.
Please, what?
I don't believe it. I think the stories come out because they're trying to get us to put the money up front. Arsenal, I've heard Arsenal need to sell before they can buy, and they're also after Rodgers as well. I don't think the interest is genuinely in for Tonali. That's just my opinion.
Who was that? It was Simon Jones. Okay, tier 2. Not so really proven, but he told that Sandro Tonali is open to join Tottenham, but he would like to join Arsenal if they would join the race to sign him. It means, I don't know what if it's really true. Now we're just losing our time. We're just losing our time. We have to say, okay, ciao. And we have another one, plan B. I don't know, Wharton, Scott, something, anyone else. But it should be done quickly. It doesn't mean what type of player, how the player, and whether either Tonali or Wharton or Fernandes, these deals should be done really quick. That's all.
Yeah, I don't know what happens to Definitely there, but what I'd say is, Daniel, we'll continue for a moment until he comes back. I love Alex Scott, yeah, but he's not a needle mover. If we sign Alex Scott, I don't think that will whet the fans' appetite. I think a Tonali will. I think Tonali will be a statement signing. I don't mind signing Alex Scott as well as another couple of players, like top quality players, but I don't want to sign. I don't want us to sign Alex Scott and I don't know someone else. Like if we sign Palhinha and Alex Scott, I won't be happy about that. I think Tonali would be a statement signing, and it might attract other players to Spurs. Now, I'd love Alex Scott. You know, he's a Tottenham fan as well, and I think he would come to Spurs. But I don't think the fan base would. It won't whet their appetite as much as it would if it was Tonali.
Yeah, and he would cost us also about £80 million.
Yeah,
as we saw.
Which, I mean, that's ridiculous as well.
It's also ridiculous. Tonali 100, Wharton probably 8 million is a true price. It's really good price for him, but I don't know.
They might
80 million. It's too much.
Palace might up their weight if Tonali and Fernandes and players like that are going for if Tonali's going for 100 mil or whatever it is, and Fernandes going for 80 mil, Palace might look at that thinking, why are those players worth that much? And they're not even English for start because there's English tax. And Wharton, in my opinion, is probably. I think he's better than Fernandes. I'm not sure about Tonali, but I think he's better than Fernandes. So if Fernandes is worth 85 million, Wharton's worth over 100 mil. And I think if Palace see that, they might think, well, we'll slap up, over 100 million pound on Wharton then. Which the money's a bit.
Yeah.
Players, it's not worth it. Alex Scott's a very good footballer. I love Alex Scott, but he's not worth 80 million pounds.
It's a maximum 60. Maximum 60. And for example, what would I say? Not Alex Scott, Adam Wharton. Yeah, another one. Yeah, Mateus Fernandes. Mateus Fernandes is about 85 million pounds. It's also crazy price for him. Yeah. 85 million pounds. Twice
he's another
was
one.
Relegated.
Fernandes is another one which is probably, if you're pushing it, probably 50 to 60 million around that mark, I'd say. But I remember hearing about Fernandes being worth. Nicky Horton's put it on. He's a West Ham YouTuber, quite a big one actually. Mm-hmm. And he said it. He was on Real Tottenham TV, and he said we would get 85 million pound for Fernandes. And when he said that number, I almost fell off my bed laughing. I thought, 85 million pound, he ain't bloody worth that much. And now West Ham are offering, they'll want 85 million pound for him. I think definitely he's having connection issues. But yeah, I don't know.
And how much did the West Ham spend for him to buy him?
Was it about 40? Was it 40, 50 mil? I don't know actually.
I think it was 40 million. I think it was 40 million pounds. But okay, it's also I don't know, from Southampton. Yeah, I didn't see him a lot this season as he played for West Ham, probably 3 or 4 games. Now, yesterday and today, I have seen another videos of him. Yeah, of course, it's just short videos, on YouTube and something like that. The highlights of him. But from Fernandes, yeah.
Well, there's a comment here at the bottom here which says I can't go to the comments because it's not my show, but Rabbit man, bit up to mate. Definitely will be back in a minute. He's having connection issues. He says he said 45 million pounds for Fernandes, and Southampton's got a 15% sell-on clause. And if that's no wonder why West Ham want big money from them, because if it's a 15% sell-on clause, then they want as much money as possible to try and recoup the money back. Because if Southampton gets 15% sell-on clause, West Ham needs as much money as possible, don't they?
Yeah.
All right. Hopefully, my internet is actually going to behave itself because it's basically sod's law. I do my first proper live stream here, and for some reason I can't hear people properly. My internet's bugging. Hopefully, the stream's been fine for the chat, but I've been hearing sort of robotic voices and kind of having to make sense of the gist of the argument rather than actually hearing the points being cast forward. But yeah, I think you've both made some good points regarding Wharton and Tonali. So I wonder if you had the choice of these three players, a Wharton, Tonali, or was the other one Fernandez? I think. Who do you pick? And I'll tell you what. Actually, I'm going to bring another guest onto the stage, and I'm going to I'll ask the question again. This is a guy who's just got himself going in the Spurs community. He's been making his own streams, been joining other people's streams, and he always has a fair thing to say. And I think he makes some decent points. You're going to see. Welcome to Barkayid. Rolly, how are you doing, buddy?
How you doing, Geezer?
Hi, mate.
All right, Daniel.
Oh,
right,
it's
Danny.
been a long time, Rolly.
Yeah, it hasn't it? Yeah, you jumped off the other stream and straight on this one. Good man. Anyway, it's finished now. But what are we on about, guys?
I was just going to say, basically, between Adam Wharton, Fernandez, and Tonali, who do we want out of these three players the most? And I'll tell you what, I'll start with you, Rolly. Why don't you give me your answer, and then we'll move on to Daniel, and then Anthony can have his say. What do you think, Rolly?
I like Adam Wharton's hold-up play. I think he's great. And Fernandez, I just still can't see where they're getting these figures from, to be quite honest. Because like with Tottenham Hotspur, if we went down, everyone's saying, "Oh, we're going to have a fire sale. We're going to have a fire sale." Yet they can go, "Oh, we want 80 million for Fernandez," which is an absolute joke. Do you know what I mean? For a Championship player, didn't save him, did he? So how they could command that sort of money, I don't know. As for Tonali, he orchestrates a midfield, doesn't he? He actually orchestrates a midfield. What I've seen, he is a class player, absolute class player. He can pass the ball. He holds the ball up. He just makes things happen in midfield. So. Out of the three, I would like Wharton and Tonali, to be quite honest, but they're different players. Fernandez apparently is more of a ball progressor. You know what I mean? He's a bit more of a forward player than the other two. But maybe that's why, like everyone they were saying on the other channel, that by not getting Polinia and getting Tonali in is like an upgrade to him, but I still think it's a mistake letting Polinia go really to another club where he's already there. It's 20 odd million. It's not a lot.
Yeah,
and
I'm 100% with Rolly on Polinia. I do have to say the
squad better.
Exactly. The only thing that I've heard to even come close to justifying Polinia not joining is this story that apparently his missus is leaving him and he wants to be closer to be in Portugal because he wants to co-parent. That's on him.
We spoke about this and said that if his family, he might, if he's going through issues with his family, he might want to go in with his kids.
Yeah, I don't know if it's true. So this is the thing. I don't know if it's true, but the fact of the matter that he hasn't joined us yet, despite the fact that he himself has said he loves Spurs and would be happy to join, and the fact that Roberto De Zerbi has said that he wants him here.
Yeah,
I think
100%.
that kind of tells a story that maybe there is something personal going on behind the veil that we aren't just seeing. But I'm going to bring Daniel in next for his answer. Fernandez, Tonali, or Wharton? Who are you going for, mate?
Wharton.
Wharton, yeah.
Just Wharton, and that's all. I think I don't want to comment here at all. Wharton is English player. His passing is brilliant. He is English proven. He is a winner. He has won 3 cups in a row. And for me, it's a brilliant signing and dreaming signing. My personal opinion: Wharton, Gibbs White, Palinha. These three players I would like to see in our midfield next season, as addition to our midfield that we have now. Of course, Pape Matassar, Bergwall will be sold, I think.
Yeah.
And this is really, really huge upgrade for our midfield.
I mean, if it comes down to it, definitely look. You're looking at it, right, and you go, right. One of them players gets injured, like Tonali or someone like that. Who are you bringing on? Archie Gray or Palinha?
Palinha, for sure. Palinha.
Night and day, isn't it?
Archie Gray.
Yeah, well, you would say that.
When you massive.
I don't expect anything else from you.
I think it's not a question we'd take Palinha, but I just want to ask Daniel one more question. What is it about Adam Wharton? What's one trait of his that you think he brings to Spurs that say Tonali doesn't bring to Spurs? What is that trait for you?
Firstly, his passing and his connection between defending line and attacking line. We have now two brilliant defenders. They have a really, really cool passing control game, such as Van Heck and Senesi. Of course, not Van de Ven, but two of them. They will get passed to Wharton, and Wharton can now really control the midfield, and he can bring the ball further. And it's a really huge opportunity for us because we didn't have this at all last season. And just Adam Wharton 100%. And his tech price is lower than Tonali. That's why we could have a little bit more money for another position that we need to improve, such a left winger and a striker. Yeah? And as I heard today about Savinho, this deal has been not collapsed, but has been paused for unacceptable time. I don't know what's happened, but I think it's about Tonali now, because City is also involving probably, and they are conquering each other. I don't know. This is my opinion, because we don't know about we don't know nothing, because these games this information that we get from insiders and from journalists is just about 10 or 20% of true of whole information that it's really come. That's why I just wait and see. But if Tonali would not come to us and would join to City or Arsenal, for me, it's a lost time, firstly. But I want to see another plan B that could be achieved quickly. Now, just, okay, we've lost it. We've lost time. We've lost player. Fuck it. Now we have another one, and we do it quickly.
Move on, yeah.
The thing is, though, Daniel, what I would say is Wharton will probably suit us, actually, because he's bloody injury prone, and we have so many injuries as it is. He'll probably suit our style more. But to be honest, you know what I'm in the fence of? Whichever player De Zerbi wants, I want as well. If De Zerbi wants Wharton, I want Wharton. If he wants Tonali, I want Tonali. At the end of the day, we want De Zerbi to be back, so we want him to make decisions. So if he wants, it depends which player he wants. I'm happy with. I'm not sure on Fernandes thing. I'm not sure of him as a player. I don't really know much. Not really seen him properly, but he's been at two poor sides like Southampton and West Ham. But I'm not a massive fan of his. But at the end of the day, if De Zerbi wants him, and other fans have said that they like him, and everyone's entitled to opinion. I get all that. But if De Zerbi wants him, then that's, as far as I'm concerned, that's good enough for me.
Yeah, that's you've just answered the question that I was going to bring to you next, Anthony. So, Bikey Rowley's gone with Tonali. Daniel, he's gone with with Wharton, and Anthony has gone with whatever Roberto De Zerbi wants. Bring him over, and I think you've given brilliant points to all of your answers there, fellas. So yeah, fair play to all of you. My personal opinion is I probably would just, out of the eye test, from what I've seen from all of them, I've just the games of their relative clubs I've seen them play, I would go for Tonali, just based on the fact that he seems to be quite a commander of the midfield. He's a proper man as well. And I think we are just calling for a player like that. It's the same reason I wanted Palhinha in, just sort of a man who can kind of get the ball and then just sort of command what happens with it, a leader. I think he has a little bit of a leader vibe to him as well, so that's why he'd be my pick. But I can understand why Daniel's gone for Wharton. Absolutely, he has some things there.
Well, definitely. Here's a question for you. Yeah, which of these three players do you think we're more likely of getting?
More likely of getting? That's a good one. I mean, if we're going by Enix's track record of having their pants pulled down, then they're probably going to splash the cash for Fernandez of the three. But yeah, I don't know.
Why is he worth that money, mate? I honestly don't. Why Fernandez is worth that money?
Yeah, I know.
He's not a Premier League footballer.
I don't think United. The thing is, I've heard people have said that Fernandes wants United and stuff, and he probably does want United in the way because they're a massive club. I get all that, but I've also heard another story that him and his partner don't want to leave London. So at the end of the day, we still have that London pull. So if that's the case, he won't leave London. Spurs are the option, because I've not heard Chelsea or Arsenal come after him. So
no.
So that means he'll come to Spurs if that's the case. So I mean, Man United are a massive club, but Spurs are still a big club, and we still have the pull of London, don't we?
Is he really an £80 million player?
No, he's not. That's the thing, Rowley. I don't agree with the price tag at all. I'm absolutely amazed that that's the price tag of him. I would pay. I think he's worth 60 million tops. That's the most.
I'll say about 50 million, and I'm not being funny because it's coming from West Ham and their Championship team. Yeah,
that's true. They're not a Premier League team. I'm going to actually go back to a comment that I hadn't read yet, but big up to you, Rabbit Man, for tuning in.
Definitely, I mentioned this one earlier. We were speaking about it, but yeah, you don't have anyway.
Yeah, I was just going to say, do you think that this could be a factor in the asking price for West Ham?
That's what I was saying. Me and Daniel were talking about. I said that Southampton have got 15% settlement clause, and I think they bought him for like 45 million or something. So that's why the 85 million's on the table. Like they want for him, because they're not going to want 60 million for him, because they'll get hardly anything back. Southampton will get 15% of it. So they're gonna want as much money as possible for them to justify the 15% selling clause.
Well, keep him then, and they won't be able to play him anyway. They won't be able to pay him.
But that's the thing. If it goes further along in the window, and no one's bid for him, I think they'll drop the price.
I think so.
But
do you want to take that risk though? Do you want to take that risk where if you want a player, you really want that player, do you want the risk of them dropping the price even further to allow United or someone to be like, oh, they've dropped the price now, I'll take him?
I can't see how in 6 months his price has gone up 40 million. It's fucking crazy. And he didn't do nothing to get. He didn't save them, did he? I mean, they're in the Championship, yet they're still commanding £80 million.
But to be honest, whether he's worth 80 million or not, in the past we've penny pinched. We've not signed players when we feel like we probably should have paid more. We haven't, and now we want Enid to spend the money. We're still saying,
but there's players to come out of Tottenham, and we can raise it over to about 250, 300 million if we wanted, just to getting them players out.
That money Enid to spend is not really our money, and I know people have said on the chat, and you'll probably say, well, it is our money because we spend money in the club shop in the ground. But as soon as we give the money to Enid, it stops becoming our money.
Exactly. That's what I was about to say. 100%, Anthony. Thank you for bringing that up, because I've heard that argument before, and I do hear it. We spend money in the club, but technically, if you spend money anywhere, as soon as you spend that money and give it away, it's not your money anymore. So
No.
I don't really hear it too much. Sort of I'm not fussed whether they give 80 million or 70 million or they give 10 million more than they should have, because it is not my money. I wish I had tens of millions of pounds to be given to people. but yeah,
that's the thing. The top clubs will pay the extra money to get the player, won't they?
They're saying, we're going to be spending like 80 million on this player, 80 million on that player. Man, we've got to sell. We've got some players to sell, man. Like the Richarlisons, we've got the players like Romero's. We're going to get good money for them, you know.
Well, I've heard another story too. I don't know how true it is, but Romero now wants to bloody stay.
Well, this is what I was saying on your stream, Anthony. I think it was last week, or if not the week before, that all these centre halves that we have registered in our squad, what's the plan for them? Because Romero, I know
we've got one game a week though. Definitely, this is a problem.
Exactly, we've got one game a week. Romero, everyone just assumes, defenders, centre halves. Centre halves, mate. Centre halves. Yeah. So we have 10 or so centre halves. People assume Romero was gone, and I never for a second did that, because I hadn't heard any stories that he wanted to leave. I hadn't heard any stories that that there were teams interested in him. So for me, there wasn't really too much of a whistle to say that Romero's going anywhere. We have Van der Ven, we have Danso, we have Dragusin. Dragusin's probably off, so we can maybe leave him out the list. We have this Phillips and Takai. I think their career at Spurs is done. I think they're going to get sold or never-ending loans or whatever it is.
I think De Zerbi have a good look at Phillips in this week.
You think so?
This summer. Yeah, he'll have a good look.
The thing with Phillips though is that we've got Danso, we've got Van Hecke, we've got Van der Ven, we've got Senesi, who can all play centre back. There's no room for Phillips. We only need 4 centre backs.
But I don't. The thing is with Phillips, like you say, he's a young player. How old's Phillips now? Is he young?
Is he 21 or 22 or something? He's not that young anymore.
He was 18 when we signed him, so he must be 21 now. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So there's still time for him to go out on loan and get better.
The thing is, I don't know whether it's going to do him any good or us any good to keep sending players out on loan. But we send Brian Hill out on loan all the time. And
let's send him out. Let's keep him and send him out to a Premiership team. I'd like to see that.
That is a shout from Roldy. To be fair, I think send him out on loan in the Prem would be a real litmus test.
So send him to Coventry, see if he can do it, because Coventry knows how he plays. I reckon they'll take him.
I'm a bit of the effect, the way of thinking where now this is just my opinion and stuff. Where sometimes we need to be a bit ruthless. Look at Chelsea and stuff. They sell their youngsters. They keep selling them if they feel like they're not up to it. I'm not sure Phillips is going to ever make it at Spurs.
So before we have this discussion, I think we need to come to sort of a consensus. How many centre halves do you think that there should be room for? Because Anthony said 4, and given our track record of injuries, I'd say maybe that we should have a few more than that. 5 or 6 would be more.
We've got Davis, haven't we? I know whether people rate him or not, he's still going to be there next season.
He ain't going to get a game, mate.
But if there's injuries, he might get a game.
Well, then that's what you got. That's why you have 5 or 6 defenders.
Yeah, okay. Then 5 centre backs.
5 or 6 defenders.
He's not going to play much. We need 4 centre backs unless someone gets injured.
So let's start off with who our 2 main centre halves will be. I mean, I don't know. Only Roberto De Zerbi knows that in his mind. But in my opinion, personally, I think if we keep Romero, I think we will just go in with the usual sort of Romero Van der Ven pairing, because that has been the pairing historically. I don't know if De Zerbi will want to upset the apple cart off that. I think we'll see Porro and Spence rotated on the right, and then I think we can only really see Robertson playing left back. So saying that must mean that Senesi and Van Hecke have been brought in as sort of rotation players or backups. which is very interesting considering we're only playing one game a week.
Yeah, this is what I can't work out.
Does that
Sorry, who did you say will be the starters?
Romero and Van der Ven.
I think Romero and Van der Ven. I think Romero stays.
I bet it'd be the Dutch pair.
I think Romero will go. I think Van Heck will start. Why would De Zerbi bring Van Heck in? He knows him. Why would he bring Van Heck in to be like, oh, by the way, you're on the bench? He spent 52 million pounds on him.
It's a good question to be fair.
That's if
Van Heck will start. And I think Senesi will either rotate with Van der Ven or he'll start and maybe push Van der Ven on the left back with Robertson.
That's a shout.
But,
that's another thing.
Will rotate, but I don't think Senesi's going to want to come and sit on the bench either.
No,
that's the thing. That's the thing.
It's competition for places, isn't it? All top clubs have competition for places. Look at Arsenal, City; they have competition.
We're finally doing it.
But I think getting them all in.
I think we've basically
doing it at the wrong time.
Exactly what I was about to say, Rolly. We should have been doing this
one game a week.
Last season when we had the Champions League, it would have been perfect. But now we've brought in all these players. We're playing one game a week, and I'm not complaining about that because the idea is that hopefully this season we do qualify for European football one way or another, and hopefully by the time we do that, we'll have sort of a big ready-made squad to compete on all fronts, and we'll only need to sign a few more additionally. But it is going to be interesting to see sort of how the attitude of some of these signings unfolds if they're not happy with the game time that they're being given. I think we could very well still sell Romero, and that would give a bit more breathing room for this sort of cohort of centre halves we've brought in. But I think it's going to be very interesting to see who's going to want to who's going to sort of have the most fight.
I was watching Danso against Argentina. He played bloody well, you know.
Yeah, he was good.
He played very well.
I like Danso.
He played very well.
Some people say, sorry, Roddy, Don.
Go on. I think maybe by bringing Van Heck in and people like that, and if Romero does stay, I don't know whether there's going to be a place for Danso. And maybe they could sell him.
No, I think. Look, at the end of the day, I think Romero has burnt his bridges. I think I've just had enough of him. I'm sick of this whole. I'm fit for Argentina thing, but I'm not fit for Spurs. I know he loves Argentina. He loves his country. Who doesn't? But Spurs pay his wages. He's always making a fuss, saying he wants. He gets injured for Spurs, but then he was always fit for Argentina. The end of the season, whether he flew back to England or not, he was in Argentina about to watch his beloved team play. He didn't give a toss about us. And I think something happened where the club knew how much backlash he was getting and phoned him and said, "Look, you need to come back.
You've got to get back." Yeah,
that reason. He doesn't care about us. So even though
the thing is, it don't matter what you think. It's what De Zerbi thinks. If De Zerbi wanted Romero to stay and he wanted to stay, that's what's going to happen, and he's going to play him.
But but in my eyes, he's burnt his bridges. So if he stays, that's fine. But I still won't like him. I won't support him. I can't stand the guy. He has clearly don't want to be here at all since he's been. He's a shit captain, worst captain we've ever had. And I just don't. Now suddenly, because we're signing some good players. Now he wants to stay. Well, you know what? He can fucking do one for all I care.
What do you think, Daniel?
About what? About
Romero.
About Romero.
Whether he stays or not. Yeah, I think he should go.
He has to go because I will.
If De Zerbi wants him to stay, then it's not.
Yeah, but
I don't know.
I don't think De Zerbi will want him to stay because obviously, like you said, otherwise we'll have too many defenders then. The thing with Danzo. Like Romero is probably a better defender. When Romero's on it, he probably is a better defender. But what I love about Danzo is his passion, determination, and he generally cares and loves the club. Romero hasn't shown once that he loves the club. I think it's all about himself, and I just think he's burnt his bridges. It's time for him to go.
Is Senesi? He's
Argentinian.
Argentinian, yeah. So that's his teammate, isn't it?
Yeah, he was today on the bench.
Yeah.
So I think you boys will know this better than I. Who out of Van Heck and Senesi, who has the left foot, who has the right foot?
The left foot's Van Heck. No, left foot's Senesi.
Senesi.
Left foot's Senesi. Right foot's Van Heck.
Yeah.
So Senesi plays on the left, Van Heck on the right.
He's on the same side as Van der Ven. So Van Heck plays on the other side, yeah.
So Senesi could play the other side of Romero then, is that right?
No, Senesi plays the same side as Van der Ven, so he plays on the left side of the fence.
So who knows? Maybe Roberto De Zerbi has brought in Senesi to play as an Argentine
wall.
with
Argentine wall. Yeah, you've got a Dutch wall. We've got a Dutch wall and Argentine wall.
Yeah, but I think Van Heck's been brought in as a first team starter. I don't think he's brought in to be playing on the bench. So I think I don't know with Van der Ven. I don't know whether they'll move Van der Ven to
like you say. You've got to have rotation. You've got to have players, good players in every position, and you've got to have two good players in every position. Maybe you know what I mean.
I just think
this is what that lot up the road have done.
Yeah. I think De Zerbi. I actually don't think De Zerbi wants Romero. I think the whole end of season thing would have. I think that would have pissed him off as well, knowing that he was in Argentina and not supporting the team.
Yeah.
Or if Romero would stay in the club, probably De Zerbi will play 5-3-2 as he did in Marseille. No,
play three at the back.
Three central defenders in the squad. Probably Romero, Van Hecke, and Van de Ven.
I've heard his favourite position is 4 at the back, but he does play 3 at the back in certain games.
So that's actually an interesting point because you could have this idea of Van de Ven being pushed out on the left, and then you have centre halves of Romero, Senesi, and Van Beek.
Probably
that way you find some room for all of them to fit in, and Porro on the right, and you have Spence and Porro battling it out.
So you've got 3 good centre halves, and you've got 2 good wingers, really quick wingers like Porro and Van der Ven, which really would work.
Yeah, exactly.
So perhaps that's what he wants, to have that option.
Yeah, I think it's good.
Games. Yeah, there might be certain games. De Zerbi might have looked at it, and there might be certain games where he feels that he needs to play.
Got to shore the backup. Yeah.
That's a
good point.
Teams in the league, you might play 3 at the back.
So what do we think with regard to the midfield then? Because let's assume that Sarr's off. I don't see a future for Sarr here anymore. He's had his time. He's not done enough to earn his spot.
Bergval's off.
Bergval apparently wants to go. So that's two.
Loan, doesn't he?
Well, no. If he goes, he goes.
Yeah. Whatever he does, if he goes on loan or whether he goes permanently, that's another free spot in the midfield for the oncoming season. And then let's say Polinia doesn't look like he's coming back because of these family reasons or whatever. That isn't. Who knows what's going on there? So let's just say we have 3 spots in the midfield. Does that maybe say that we could splash the cash and maybe get all 3 of those names we were discussing earlier?
That's a dream, isn't it? That's a proper statement. That's a proper statement.
I don't see why not. I think if Enix want to show ambition, then why not get all 3? Whether we get all 3 is another matter. But to just show ambition, sell them a project.
Do you think
to them, you're going to be our main stars? Go and do it.
Do you think cover for Kudus could be Somerville then?
Sir?
Do you think cover for Kudus will be Somerville?
No, so isn't Somerville a left-sided player?
He plays on the right, doesn't he?
I thought he's left.
No, he's right. I'm sure he's right.
Can you check that at all? Don't know.
No, who knows?
Sure.
Let me. I'll do that. Somerville, left wing or right wing? Let's see. Maybe he's one of these. Apparently, according to transfermarket.co.uk, he is a left winger position.
Is he?
Apparently, according to transfermarket.co.uk,
I've always seen him on the right.
Yeah, you are right. Main position left winger, other position right winger. So maybe he's a man of many instruments. Yeah.
Yeah, because
No, because he don't play on the right. Because Jared Bowen plays on the right for West Ham.
I think he was brought in when Bowen was injured.
Bowen,
maybe I don't know.
I've always seen Bowen on the right, but maybe Bowen and Somerville sometimes drift over between left and right.
Yeah,
maybe. Yeah, exactly. Something like that. So I think Somerville is a backup for Kudus. What does the rest of the panel think about that? Daniel,
I'd like that.
Somerville will be brought as a left-sided player probably, so he wouldn't be covered for Kudus.
Don't he play that for the Dutch show? He plays on that side, on the right.
I don't know what he plays for Dutch, but
let's have a look at the Dutch
maybe
side.
he can play. He'd probably play both, but
I'd like to bring Daniel in. What would you say to Somerville being a backup winger for Kudus?
No, Harry Wilson. Harry Wilson could be really a good backup for.
That's who you want, Harry Wilson. Yeah.
He's free as well. He's a free.
He's free. He's a free agent. Yeah.
I seen Harry Wilson, and people was like, "Nah, he's not all that." But I'm not a massive fan of Somerville.
Yeah, me too. And he will not come to us.
I'm a bit perplexed. If you were to ask me who I'd want to be the backup to Kudus, I'm perplexed because I'm not really aware of the right wing market right now. I think this window, the attack is probably one of the most difficult things to go out and find because there aren't too many attackers that are available on the market right now, are there? So I think we're a little bit stuck there. But I think the name's Harry Wilson. It's not a bad shout. If it's a free transfer, I think it'd be decent backup for Kudus.
What position is Krupe from Bournemouth?
No idea, mate.
Because I like him. He's a player.
He's striker.
He's a player. Huh?
Yeah, but he Paris Saint-Germain has made contact with his agent about him.
Yeah, but if he, do you really think he's going to get in the PSG team over Dembele?
Why not?
Dembele's class. He ain't getting in that team.
Yeah, but they would like to sell Gonzalo Ramos. It means that he has another spot for another striker, and
I'll take Ramos.
Will be 100% sold.
I'll take Ramos from PSG.
25 years old, three years on the bench.
Yeah, but every time he comes off the bench, he plays scores.
But he plays in Paris. It's really.
The thing is, mate. Yeah. Now think about this. Yeah. Ramos or Richarlison?
No one.
No one, bloody
neither.
There's no way I'm having Richarlison in that starting lineup first game. Even if De Zerbi wants him, I think that's the only one I'll say, fuck you, De Zerbi. There's no way that's happening.
It's about, there are rumors about Rashford. Rashford, for me, is a good choice, but he has a huge salary. Yeah.
Oh, Rashford. Oh, right. Yeah, that's the thing. I've also, we had a debate earlier, didn't we, Voli, about between Rashford and Gakpo. And I think Rashford's a quality player. I think Rashford's a better player, but he's all for himself. He's on massive wages. He's all for himself, and I think Gakpo's a better team player than Rashford. Gakpo would be better at us than Rashford, actually.
I'd take Rashford. I think just based off of, I just want to see a player that has that flair to him. You know, the one that scores goals like the ones that we've seen him do at Barcelona. You know, I don't think that the latter stages of his career at Manchester United can be too much of a testament to how he is as a player, not as a player, but as a character in a football club, because I think Manchester United at that time was just rotten to the core anyway. I think that there are a lot of players and just not quite right at Manchester United in that time that put a sour mouth with a lot of the players there. So I don't think necessarily that could be too much of a testament into his character. So I'd be willing to take a risk on Rashford just to have that kind of flair in the team. I think that could be a really, really, really nice asset to have. But,
The thing is, though, mate, I think Rashford will have the attitude where, you know, he's been at Barcelona. I think he was going to want another top club. I don't think he's going to look at us thinking, oh, yes, I'll come to Tottenham. I just think he'll want to. I think he'll want to. If he's not going to make it at Barcelona, he'll want to go to a Bayern Munich or something like that. I don't think he'll want to come to us.
No, we'll just have to do what we say. I haven't heard that. Was it this window or previously?
I think a few weeks ago he said that no to us. So it was in the press. He said no. I don't want him to be like, if there's no other options for other offers for him, then be like, actually, I'll come to Spurs now. There's no other offers.
Yeah. I'm just reading an article on Lucas Bergvall. Apparently, Dortmund are very interested in signing Lucas Bergvall.
That's not a bad club for Bergvall. Look how they develop players.
And Leipzig are looking at him as well.
Dortmund do develop young players really well.
Look at he is a Dortmund's target. He is a Dortmund target. They do go for players like him. It's the beach blonde. That's what Dortmund like going in for. You know.
Yeah, the
Germans. Julian Brandt, Royce.
Yeah, you get a pair of jet boots for that as well. I think you don't get football boots.
I heard earlier that Aston Villa appreciate Bergvall as a player, but they're not after him.
Yeah, and the Inters are after him as well. The both Milans like him as well. Apparently, we'll see. Let them have a little fight out. See who can play the most.
Yeah, it looks like there's a lot of talk going on around around a lot of our players. But yeah, we basically we've covered more or less all the positions on the pitch. We've gone through the defence, the midfield, the attack. So I think I'll call it a day there. We've been going on for an hour, so it's been a decent first stream. Apologies to all who are watching with regard to my awful connection. I don't know whether that's a StreamYard thing, whether it's a my internet thing. Usually I work from home all day on video conferences and the internet is usually fine, so I don't know what's been going on there. But
maybe you've used it too much today. So.
Something like that. But yeah, thanks to all who tuned in. Thanks to Biker Yid. Thanks to Daniel, Spurs Global Community, and thanks to Tottenham Therapy as well. If you boys want to quickly sort of give your channel a plug, sort of say what you do before we leave it there. Baldy, you go first. Sort of what's your channel about, mate? Yeah, pop a link.
Yeah, Biker Yid. It's all about Tottenham Hotspur, mate, and the news and things and current affairs. And sometimes we talk about the nostalgia as well of Tottenham Hotspur. We have guests on most of the time. We just enjoy our club. We love a club, don't we? We all want the best for our club at the end of the day, and that's what we're all about.
100%, mate. 100%. Lovely stuff. Yeah, feel free to pop your link in the chat.
Yeah, I'll do that now.
And you can do that. Daniel, you want to give a little run through of what you're about, mate? Pop your link in.
About my channel. It's a global name of this channel, Spurs Global Community, because firstly, I have created it with my mates from Russia, from Russian Spurs. It's a huge community of Spurs fan in Russia, and the aim is that I would like to create in a community, and I would like to show that not only on the west part of Europe, east part of Europe, are also enough and more than we think supporters of Tottenham Hotspur. And this is also about our club, about our lovely club. And we hope all of us, that it could be really huge and interesting time for our club. Whether with Enik or not, we will see. But as we said before, we wish also all the best for our football club. That's why, yeah.
Really good stuff there, Daniel. I love to hear that as well, because there are a lot of Spurs fans even out in that part of the world. You know, my Russian teacher actually mentioned to me that an old colleague of hers was a massive Spurs fan when Tottenham got brought up. So yeah, absolutely brilliant you're doing that. And last but not least, Anthony, the main man himself, give us a run through of your channel. Feel free to pop your link in, and over to you, mate.
Yeah, Tottenham Therapy, and yeah, I I just do live. I was at one point I was doing live two shows a week, but that weren't enough. I've done live much more lately, and my subscriber count has gone up loads since I've done that. So big up to everyone for that. But I've been doing morning shows this week, filling in for the two marks, not on their stream but on my one, and I've been doing some evening ones as well. So yeah, that's what I'm. So I have guests on all the time. Sometimes I talk to my own. Sometimes most of the time I guest. Sometimes I do them on my own. But yeah, so big up to talk about anything football, Tottenham related, really. Transfers at the moment, but yeah, all good. It's all sorted. So yeah, cool.
Lovely stuff. Thank you very much, gents. It's been a pleasure streaming with you.
Mate.
Of course, mate. Anytime. So yeah, come on, you Spurs. See you lot next time. Bye bye.
Big up the chat.
Ciao.
There you go.